Hello again, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Hall County Sports Television. I'm your host, Gary Glenn. It's that time of the year when the playoffs are upon us in all sports, and just this past Saturday over in Carrollton, the cross-country teams held their state championship finals. And what a day for Flowery Branch cross-country at the state meet. Branch boys bunched their runners together and won the team title. That's right, state champions, and the Falcon girls came in second. For the guys, the first Falcon in was senior Drew Garland in 8th place in 16 minutes, 37.55 seconds. He was followed by Taylor Fiorello in 12th in 16:49.94, Luis Terran in 15th in 16:57.72, Nicholas Ashmead in 18th in 17 minutes, 0.19 seconds, and Austin Weber in 19th with 17:01.45. In fact, all five in the top 20. Marist was second in the boys' race, but they were first in the girls' race. Megan Kirk led Flowery Branch with the 21st place finish, time of 20:27.05. Brittany Wells at 20:33.87, and Lauren Kirk at 20:37.16. We're in the top 30 for the Lady Falcons, and we bring to the show now the head coach for the boys and girls cross country. He's been with us before, Jimmy Sarles. First of all, Jimmy, let me just say congratulations. What a great day.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's very surreal. I really can't believe it happened. I still had to wake up the next morning and pinch myself to make sure I wasn't dreaming the day before, but it was a very exciting day.
Well, a little bit of a pun intended, as the Falcons sort of flew under the radar this year. You guys just sort of came out of nowhere, and when you finally I looked in, and all of a sudden there I saw how you did in the region meet, and I went, whoa, pretty good.
Yeah, it was. We decided a long time ago what race is going to be very important to us, and I don't know if that's a secret to us or anybody else, but we know that the state championship is the one you want to win, and that's where you want to run your best, and we did.
Well, and again, I said that one of the keys, too, in a sport like cross country is maybe you don't have the best guy or the best girl overall, but then you look at the team. Putting those runners tightly together, that's a real key in the sport.
And that was our focus all year long. Drew and I sat down a year before and at the end of the last year, and we talked about it, and our goal was to make sure our top 5 boys, no matter who they were, going to be in a tight pack, and that's what happened on Saturday.
Well, time to brag on them a little bit then. And the girls, was that a surprise for you, the second place finish?
I knew my girls were very capable of doing very well, and I knew they had ran well. And to be honest with you, it was kind of my fault, but as we were watching it, I was trying to count and see how we were going to do. It seemed like a big jumbled mess, but I knew they had ran really well. And they were asking me, Coach, how do we do? And I said, well, maybe 5th, maybe 6th, I don't know. And then all of a sudden we were second place. That was a total shock and a great surprise.
Oh, I got them both on the podium and come in with a team trophy.
Absolutely, absolutely. And the girls were the surprise of the day for me personally, because we went into this meet ranked 9th place. I mean, nobody had that type of expectation doing. I'm just so proud. I'm extremely proud of them.
No, well, talk about some of your seniors now for that happened this year.
With the boys, we were, of course, Drew finished first for us, and he was region champion. And Drew's just a phenomenal young man, great leader, does a great job working with the team and showing his leadership skills. And that's one of the reasons why we excelled this year. And of course, Luis was a senior, and another guy in the top 7, Cody Papp. With 3 seniors in the top 7, very important. And they just all 3 do a very good job for me, and I'm gonna miss them greatly. On the girls' side, just 1 senior. So.
Wow.
Brittany Wells does a phenomenal job. She's what I call a convert. She started out running track as a sprinter, and I turned her into a distance runner, and she ended up doing extremely well.
Well, you got the sister act too, the Kirks, right?
Yeah. I've got a little I call it my secret weapon or secret trio. I've got Megan's our number 1, and she's got a pair of twin sisters, Hannah and Lauren, and having 3 out of the top 7 be all on the same family is pretty cool. And they're very talented, and of course all of them are going to come back next year, so I'm looking forward to it.
Well, maybe rebuild a little bit with the boys, but the girls ought to be loaded is what I'm hearing.
I don't want to put my horse before my cart, or cart before my horse, however you say it, but we have high expectations next year.
All right, Jimmy, thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. Congratulations. State champion boys, run up in the girls. So congratulations to Flowery Branch, Quad A state champions and for the boys, and runners up for the girls. Now on the AAA front, a little bit of heartbreak for the North Hall boys. Now second ain't too bad, but when you lose by a point, 1 point in a sport like cross country is kind of tough. St. Pius nipped the Trojans there. Senior Luis Gonzalez led North Hall in 4th overall in 16:11.59. Senior Brandon Lawson finished 6th with a time of 16:27.32. North Hall's girls, led by Victoria Rogers, who finished 8th individually in 2013-69, came in 6th overall as a team. We bring to the show now some of those folks I just talked about, along with their coach, Drew Rogers, and Victoria Rogers, who happens to be the coach's daughter as well. We ought to add that too. Brandon Lawson, we talked about, and Luis Gonzalez. First of all, Coach, and I want to get the reaction of the boys. It's, as I said, second in the state, not bad, but sometimes you almost wish you'd been blown out than just lose by a point. You know?
Yeah, it seems worse than last year. Last year we lost by about 20 points or so, and we ran great, and we were very happy with second. This year we had our goals set all year long. That's all they talked about, was winning the state championship. This group of seniors here has been fourth once and second 3 times now. So
wow.
3-time runners-up. It's kind of tough, especially when that last one's 1 point.
You know how the Buffalo Bills feel when saw those Super Bowls, right? Yeah. Tell me about it, guys. Now, I know that the goal was winning the state championship, so you came into it with full expectations of doing that. So how do you feel? Is it taking a while to kind of get over this?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still trying to get over it, but I mean, we did what we could. I mean, we all ran somewhat well. I mean, nothing much more that we could do. So.
Brandon, you went out pretty fast, I understand.
Yeah, the guy that I was chasing blew out the first mile, so I just felt like I had to make up some time. I went out a little quick that first mile, and I had a pretty good race through 2.5, but doing that kind of running in a 5K race, you've got to be able to save something for the last 1,000, and I didn't have it. So.
Rethinking it, would you do it differently now? Or
God, yes, I'd do it differently.
That sounds like a stupid question.
Yeah, I'd slow it down 10 seconds in the first mile, then have that kick that I had at region in the last one. And
but you can't blame him. He went for it. He wasn't happy sitting back being second.
In hindsight, it's 2020.
He went after him.
Yeah. We'd all, when we make mistakes, would do something else, but differently, you know.
Yeah. So it's a learning experience. It's I'm trying to build off some more leadership from it, and you know, it's just something I take into the track season. So.
Oh yeah. Well, there you go. You guys both going to run track?
Yes, sir.
Good for you. Victoria, tell me about the girls' side now.
Well, we were hoping to do better, but I mean, I guess we were thinking that we would get like 3rd or 4th or place pretty decently, but I guess we got our energy out at the region. Didn't have much left.
Well, you run a fine line between warming up and wearing out, don't you, Coach?
Oh yeah. I mean, you want to peak for one or 2 races at the end. Our boys, we didn't have to peak really for region, although we ran great at region, came in 1 through 3, 4, and 5. But the girls, we knew we had to run well at region to win it. There was real good teams, White County, West Hall, both really good teams in region. So we knew we had to run our best to be the region champions.
Sound like you're proud of your teams here.
I am. I mean, I guarantee when they look back, you know, give them a little time, they're going to be very happy with a 2nd place finish. But I know right now it still hurts a little bit right now when you lose by 1 point.
Well, you mentioned track season. Now you're a junior, right, Victoria? You guys are seniors, so your last cross country. What are you going to take away from your experience at cross country at North Hall? I mean, you're a part of some great teams with some great runners.
Yeah, well, I mean, what I really would just want to take with me, just like the experiences that I've you know, just had it throughout the seasons here, because I mean, mostly more than just being on the team, it's more of a family than anything else. So.
Yeah, I agree with him. We had a lot of fun times, a lot of good jokes, a lot of fun runs. So, looking back, I wouldn't change anything about any of the seasons. It taught me a lot.
Oh, that's important. Have some fun. I mean, do what you love and have some fun.
Because if it's not fun, then I mean,
why are you doing it? Exactly. I got you. Hopes of running at the next level?
Yeah, definitely. I plan on running in college, but I mean, I don't know exactly where, but.
Yeah, I'm not sure where yet. I'm keeping it open through maybe middle of track season. So.
Let's turn to the Rogerses now, and about next year for North Hall, because you're coming back. And so, what you got, Coach?
Well, the girls, we have almost everybody back. We have the girl came in 6th in our state meet. She's a senior, but our top 5 are all back for the girls. So the girls should be hopefully much improved next year. The boys, when you lose your top 2 runners, like we're going to lose next year, and our number 6 runner, Jared Lee, another senior, you know, we're not going to be quite maybe as good as we were last year, but we have a good group of kids coming back. Whit Nix, Tucker LaCicero, and a couple of the really young runners that are going to be up there. Bryce Schubert, a freshman, who was the 2nd freshman in the state this year for AAA. So we'll be okay next year.
Victoria, top 10 in the state this year. I'm sure you have some aspirations going a little higher.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope I can be top 5 or so next year, maybe.
All right. Guys, thanks for coming in. Lewis, Brandon, always a pleasure. Victoria and Drew, as usual, thank you for coming up.
Thank you.
Okay, The North Hall Trojans. Great season for them cross country. Now, let me finish out our cross country segment here. West Hall finishing 13th on the boys' side. It was led by one of our guests from last week, Jimmy Galton, 17th place in 17:03.41. Now, in the girls' race, you heard her say last week that a top 10 finish at state was her goal, and Taylor Long of the Lady Spartans, a junior, ran 4th overall in a time of 19:50.38. As a team, the Lady Spartans finished 7th overall. In Class Single A, Lakeview's boys were 17th. Dustin Snyder led the Lions with an 18:18 time, 48th overall. And some good news on the cross-country alumni front. North Hall grad Ty McCormick made All-ACC as a sophomore at Clemson. He was 8th in the conference championship with a personal record of 23:28.2 on an 8K course. The team was 10th. Mars Hill freshman Maurice Ryden out of Flowery Branch made the South Atlantic Conference's all-freshman team. He was the 2nd freshman and 16th overall at the SAC conference meet, where the Mars Hill team won an unprecedented 15th straight title. We'll take you to football when we return. Finally, a real gym in town for everybody, from folks just wanting to get in shape to world-class powerlifters and bodybuilders. Iron Beast Barbell features elite trainers from MMA, strongman, general fitness and weight loss, to cross-training, sports-specific, wrestling, even professional sports massage and wellness. Iron Beast Barbell, a 12,000 square foot facility with 24/7 access and no contracts. Home of the national champion Georgia Iron Dogs and national level bodybuilder Cheryl Cook. Voted Gym of the Month by bodybuilding.com. Iron Beast Barbell, located in the Gainesville Market Center behind Arby's and Chick-fil-A, 622 Shaliford Road, Gainesville. Your one-stop spot for complete auto repair is the Auto Works shop on Sprout Springs Road. On everything from oil changes to brakes, new and used tires and tune-ups, even the big jobs like transmissions. The specialists at the Auto Works can have you up and running just like that. You talk about value. The Auto Works will not be undersold on used tires or any locally priced repair job. Ask about special discounts for students and teachers with your ID. That's the Auto Works at 6671 Spout Springs Road, just past Flowery Branch High and Spout Springs Elementary Schools. Phone 770-967-1732.
There are hundreds of options when choosing apparel or promotional items at J. Geyer Advertising and the Trophy Case. We're all about quality and competitive pricing. Sports items are in stock. Look for special pricing on Letterman jackets, corporate apparel, corporate gifts, and custom embroidery. All local high schools should check out the line of spirit wear and trophies. We're also offering custom screen printing available for any team sport. Be on the winning side when you choose J. Geyer Advertising and the Trophy Case, locally owned and operated at 250 Dawsonville Highway, Gainesville. Call 770-718-0062 or on the web at jgeyer.com and trophycaseltd.com.
There are moments in life that you wish would last forever. Dreams that really do come true. Treasures worth protecting. And a future to prepare for. Turner Wood & Smith is with you every step of the way. Established in the Gainesville area in 1905. Turner Wood & Smith has become Northeast Georgia's largest independent insurance agency by offering professional service at competitive prices. Turner Wood & Smith, insuring your future since 1905.
Hi, I'm Rob Bruce. I'm the new pastor here at McEver Road United Methodist Church. And one of the things I've noticed here in Hall County is the number of churches that are here, and that is a great blessing. But it can also be a problem if you're trying to find a new church or you're investigating Christianity for the first time. There's so many churches and it seems like there's so little time. Well, we invite you to be our guest at McEver Road United Methodist. We will not give you a high-pressure approach. You can come in, make up your own mind at one of 3 of our worship services. We have 3 diverse worship services, one at 8:30, which is a gospel format service. We have a 10 o'clock service, which is not contemporary, but it's something more edgy and different, and we'd like to invite you to that if that's your style. And then at 11 o'clock we have a traditional Methodist service. So we'd love for you to come be our guest and come and see.
This program is also brought to you by Long Street Cafe, now with 2 locations in Gainesville, 1043 Riverside Terrace and 405 Pearl Nicks Parkway. Open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, Monday through Saturday. Longstreet's got the reputation for Gainesville's fastest drive-thru and the best fried chicken you'll ever sink your teeth into. Plus veggies, a full salad bar, and great desserts. Check today's menu at www.longstreetcafe.com. Call a friend and meet them for a hearty meal at Long Street Cafe, where they put the home in the cooking. Gary Glenn, this is Hall County Sports, and as I said before the break, we take you to the gridiron for this particular segment. Our game of the week was a total domination by Gainesville over Stevens County, much to the shock of just about everybody at City Park. Final was 62-7. Our player of the game, quarterback Deshaun Watson, who had a part of 7 of the 9 Gainesville touchdowns, 5 passing and 2 running. 4 of the passing went to Trey Harrison, by the way, who had 179 yards receiving. Watson himself had over 400 yards of total offense. Jeremiah Ledbetter led the Gainesville defense, which gave up only 1 big play, an 81-yard touchdown by Chance Thornton. Now, next up for the Red Elephants in the first round of the state playoffs is Dalton, who won 21-14 over Cartersville, but they are not a typical 4 seed, having to forfeit 4 games after using an ineligible player earlier in the season. We bring to the show now the guy that you saw after the game talking about the big win over Stevens County, Bruce Miller, head coach of Gainesville. And Bruce, I don't think I'm exaggerating by saying when you looked at the records coming in and looked at who you had played, common opponents, very similar scores, very similar seasons. Both of you lost the opening game, both to very good quality teams. Nobody, I don't think on either side of the ball, expected that.
Oh, if you'd have told me that before the game, I would have said there's no way. There's absolutely no way. In fact, I expected a 1 or 2 point game, but you know, we got hot. It seemed like everything went right for us, and our defense was able to shut down Chaz for the most part. And you know, we were worried going into the game that just wasn't going to happen. You know, that we were really going to be in a tight ball game, and things just didn't turn out that way. And of course, we'll take it, but you know, it was one of those things. You're looking at the scoreboard, and we're talking over the headset to the coaches upstairs, and they said, we didn't think this was possible.
No, it was one of those. Well, as you said, everything, or most everything, went right for you, and a lot of things went wrong for them. And sometimes that happens. You get a lopsided way. And as I said, Deshaun Watson, our player of the game, he is amazing for a sophomore.
Oh, he is. You know, I think this is his 22nd game he's been starting. He started every game as a freshman. He is amazing, and his maturity level and his ability to go with the game and the changes he makes during the game is what really makes him amazing to us, because he basically runs our offense. He's our trigger man, and he makes everything go.
Well, let's not forget Trey Harrison has also got a few considerations for player of the game. Not 4 touchdown catches, and Trey also is part of the straw that stirs the drink.
Oh, yeah. And that's the neat thing about us. We've got 4 receivers with over 20 catches this season. And Trey's one of those guys. He's up there in catches, and he had a big night. You know, the couple games before, Stephen Mason had a good night. So, you know, Trey just came through, and I was really happy for him that everything worked out in his favor, and he was able to make those catches.
Freshman running back jumped in and did pretty good too.
Well, Michael Bird is a freshman running back. Has really jumped in there and helped us and give our running game some stability. And you know, right now we feel like we've got 5 weapons that you've got to stop. And our guys, our offensive line's doing a great job, and of course our defense did a great job Friday night shutting down Chastity.
Jeremiah Ledbetter, the move in from Orlando. I mean, I don't know how many tackles he wound up with, but it seemed like every time I turned around, either me or Walt Snelling or both of us were calling his name about getting in there in the backfield. So he's a force there in the middle.
Oh, he's really come into his own the last 2 or 3 games. You know, he moved into us after the second game from Florida, and we, you know, trying to teach him our system. It took a little bit of learning curve in there, but boy, once he's picked it up, he's really come on and really been a great asset to us right here at this part of the season.
Well, I talked about it, Coach. Dalton, not a typical 4 seed because of what they had to give up. I don't know what the impact of the player that they used had on those games. I have no idea, but nevertheless, the record is deceiving.
Well, the record says 4-6, but they're really an 8-2 team. They're 8-2 and could have easily won that region over there. They're probably a 1 or 2 seed, and they're by forfeiting those 4 games, they dropped a 4 seed. So we drew a tough first seed. A tough first round opponent.
Yeah. So what's it going to take?
It's going to take us to come out and play like we did last Friday night. There's got to be a sense of urgency with our guys, and hopefully we'll come out and we'll play with a sense of urgency and get this thing taken care of. And but it's going to be a tough ball game at City Park.
All right, well, that's right. At least you host. That's a good thing about a 1 seed. Come back next week, okay? And tell us how it all shook out. All right?
Be glad to.
Thank you very much. Bruce Miller, head coach of the Gainesville Red Elephants. Other football, Flowery Branch is back in the playoffs, but just as a 3 seed, Let me tell you how that happened. It was a heartbreaking 38-35 loss at Clark Central. Now that created a three-way tie atop the region, and then for seeding purposes, the seeds were actually drawn out of a hat Saturday morning in Loganville. Heritage won the draw, and that put Clark Central second and the Branch third. So they now have to play at a 9-1 Johns Creek team who beat Forsyth Central 44-24 last Friday. Now in the loss to Clark, Candler Coker had 3 touchdowns, but also 3 picks, and he was playing without leg-injured top receiver C.J. Curry. Casey Osborne had 80 receiving yards and one of those touchdowns. Jeremy Haley had 71 yards in the score, and Quincy Hodges had briefly given the Branch a lead with a pick 6 from the Clark Central 20. Season is over, though, for some of our other local teams. Monroe area sends North Hall home at 4-6 after a 28-21 win. Monty Cross had 158 yards and 2 touchdowns from that loss. So Cross will finish with 1,698 total yards and 24 touchdowns, and he has been selected to play for the United States Under-19 team in the 3rd International Bowl next February 1st. Quite an honor, by the way. He has given a verbal commitment to Tennessee. Chestatee won for the second time this season over Johnson, this time 28-13. Jordan McGrath had a touchdown rushing and another passing. Chestatee will end at 4-6, and Johnson holds for the season. All right, let's turn to East Hall. They made it closer in the rematch with Elbert County, but the Blue Devils still won 27-7. Jamon Witt returned to kickoff for around 90 yards for the Vikes' only touchdown of the night. East Hall will end at 5-5 for the 2011 season. West Hall ends the season at 2-8 after a 31-21 loss to Lumpkin County. Chandler Newton had 139 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. A.J. Stevens caught a touchdown pass, as did Rico Johnson, who also had 187 yards and a touchdown rushing. Riverside had their highest offensive output of the season with 25 points, but unbeaten Prince Avenue Christian had 48. Colin Patel had 223 yards and 3 touchdowns and a couple of interceptions for the Eagles. Patrick Ballard caught 2 of those scores, while Marlon Edwards had the other scoring catch and added a touchdown rushing for the Riverside Eagles, who finish at 1-9 on the season. Back to wrap it up when Hall County Sports concludes.
Proper maintenance is vital to the life of your car. Let the experts at Mountain View Auto Repair take care of all your vehicle needs. Owner Danny Hammock has over 50 years of experience in the automotive business and has earned a reputation of being honest and fair with his customers.
We try to treat everybody like I want to be treated. You know, that works out pretty good, and try to keep our price as low as possible to keep people coming in and give them a good price for their money. We do whatever turns up on a car, any kind of work, any kind of car, just it don't really matter. We do it all. People say, when are you going to quit and retire? I said, probably never. You know, as long as the Lord let me work, I'll probably be here working.
I've been trading with Danny at Mountain View Auto Repair for about 20 years. I've always been very happy with his work. It's very easy for me to talk with him. He doesn't talk down to me. He explains it in a manner that I can understand.
Most of my customers are like friends here. You know, I've known them so long, and I count them as, most all of them as friends to me.
Remember, when you want honest, reliable service, put Mountain View Auto Repair under your hood.
Hi, I'm Rob Bruce. I'm the pastor here at McEver Road United Methodist Church. And I was thinking this morning about how complicated life is. We have a lot of choices to make in life and not a whole lot of guidelines to do it sometimes. It's like being a parent. You know, I'd hoped when I was a parent that our kids would come into the world with their instructions printed on their bottom, but unfortunately that wasn't the case. And parenting is so much guesswork. I'm amazed that we hear so many people talk on TV, and we can go into the bookstores and see the books and the folks on TVs that have all the answers, but you and I know that they don't have all the answers. And the answers aren't as simple as they tell us sometimes, that all you have to do is smile just right, or say this thing, or feed your children this, and everything will be all right. You know, Jesus gathered with his followers after he was raised from the dead on a mountain in Galilee. And in Matthew 28, it tells us in verse 17 that even then some doubted. And I think that's interesting that the church was formed with some doubt in it. We don't have all the answers. We have some answers, but we don't have all of them. And if you'd like to be part of a community that doesn't have all the answers, but that can help you be at peace with the questions, well, then we invite you to join us at McEver Road. We invite you to come by and visit us at one of our worship services. Won't you come and see?
If you are looking for a quality used car, then look no further than the Car Store on McKellar Road between Gainesville and Beaufort. You won't find clunkers or junkers at the Car Store, just vehicles you'll be proud to own. At the Car Store, they can finance you on the spot, no matter what your credit is. They have a variety of plans. You can even phone your payments in. At the Car Store, they've been giving outstanding service to the community for over 20 years. At the Car Store, everybody rides.
Come on down to the Car Store. We can make you happy. My name's Bob Watson, and I guarantee it.
Hall County Sports is brought to you in part by Green Ford on Browns Bridge Road in Gainesville. Check out the latest deals. And remember, when you go Green Ford. By Mountain View Auto Repair, a full-service shop for all of your automotive needs. Call Danny at Mountain View Auto Repair at 770-535-7278. And by McKellar Road United Methodist Church. Visit us on McKellar Road in Oakwood with 3 worship services every Sunday morning, Kids Town and adult small groups. McKellar Road United Methodist Church is dedicated to transforming the world through the good news of Jesus Christ. I'm back. I'm Gary Glenn, and we're wrapping up Hall County Sports, starting with powerlifting. Georgia Iron Dog, Gainesville's Tim T. Moon, added his second World Association of Benchers and Deadlifters WABDL World Championship in as many days in the World Meet in Reno, Nevada. After winning his master's class with a press of 300 kilograms, 661.38 pounds on Friday, Moon came back on Saturday to win the open 275-pound class with a press of 305 kilos. That's 672.403 pounds. Well, I beat the Young Bucks today, Moon said. I pushed up 722 pounds, but only got one white light from the 3 judges. And he says that 2 world championships ain't that bad. It was a good trip. He was glad he came. There were a lot of competitors. I understand at one time he said there were 540 lifters at that meet. He said it was fun to watch. God has made me strong. What can I say? Indeed, well, what can we say but congratulations. Moon's Iron Dog teammate Joey Murphy of Mount Airy won the 40 to 46-year-old Masters men's 259-pound class with his press of 290 kilos. That's 639.334 pounds. He finished second in the open class. Time now to name our athletes of the week, and for the males, well, we got to go with T. Moon. 2 world championships in one weekend. As he said, that ain't too bad. For the female, well, Taylor Long of West Hall Cross Country repeats this week for her 4th place finish at state, highest among the local girl competitors. Okay, closing it out with some other stuff. Gainesville alumnus, now Tennessee linebacker A.J. Johnson was recently named the Southeastern Conference's Freshman of the Week. Johnson had 13 tackles against Alabama, which was the second best performance by a true freshman behind Eric Berry's 14 tackles against Kentucky in 2007, and the biggest performance by a Tennessee player this season, at the time at least. He's 6'3", 245, and at that time A.J. ranked first among SEC freshmen in total tackles, and this season tied for the Tennessee team lead with senior linebacker Austin Johnson. On the Pan Am Games in canoe kayak, Team USA returned home with 2 gold medals, 2 bronze medals, and 2 starting positions at the London 2012 Olympic Games. Hawaiian Ryan Dolan teamed up with Tim Hornsby out of Atlanta to place 5th in the men's K2 200-meter final, finishing in 33.403 seconds. That's 1.028 seconds behind the Canadian gold medal winning boat. Robert Finlayson of the Lanier Canoe and Kayak Club out of here in Gainesville placed 8th in the C1 200-meter finals, finishing in 44.239. That's almost 4 seconds behind the first place finisher from Canada. Morgan House from Gainesville placing 6th in the K1 1,000-meter finals, finishing in 3:48.065, a little less than 7 seconds behind the gold medal winning boat from Cuba. Finlayson placed 6th in the C1 1,000-meter final. He was about 31 seconds behind the first place finisher from Mexico. Now, who fills the team spots for Team USA will be determined by performances at the 2012 National Team Trials and the first stop on the 2012 World Cup circuit. And finally, the Hole-in-One Club welcomes Billy Corbin, who had the ace at Chicopee on the Village Course number 4 with a 7-iron. Also adds Sally Smith to the Aces High Club 2. Hit her hole-in-one on the 3rd hole at Chattahoochee with an 8-iron. Charles Sanders hit his one and done this past Sunday at Chicopee with an 8-iron on number 4 of the school course. And for his ace, Louis Borland used a 7-wood on number 6 at Mossy Creek near Cleveland. That's our show for this week. Join us next week right here for more Hall County Sports. I'm Gary Glenn.